Hello, folks. This is T.
And I'm Tom, and we're from Show Me Coasters.
Today we're doing a fun little piece, battle of the park between the two flagship park, Cedar Point and Six Flags Magic Mountain. Cedar Point is located in Sandusky, Ohio, and Six Flags Magic Mountain is located in Valencia, California. Before we rank the parks, this is the categories we're going to judge the parks by. They are roller coasters,
Resorts,
such as extra restaurants and hotels around the park. The water parks,
flat rides,
the kids sections,
and the cost versus day pass versus the season's pass.
the food dining passes, the animal attractions,
The shows.
and the park's overall park appearance. First, let's look at the roller coasters collection for both these parks. This is a little difficult. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, it's kind of hard. Cedar Point has 17 coasters, 18 if you count Pipe Scream. And then you have Magic Mountain. They've got 19.
And we thought, Six Flags Magic Mountain, the coaster was dated, but we look at the lineup. It's pretty strong. They got almost everything that's almost identical, except maybe a wing coaster here, and the other park don't have a flight coasters. That's about it.
Yeah, Cedar Fair doesn't have a flight coaster. But they do have Gatekeeper.
Yeah.
But Magic Mountain doesn't have a drop coaster, and where you got Cedar Point has Valraven. But Iron Dragon and Ninja are the same. They're both gondolas. A lot of them are
full throttle.
Repeated. Yeah, full
X2,
throttle.
Yeah. Yeah, Cedar Point has one less coasters, but my overall impression, you don't even notice the difference while you're at both parks. Most of the coaster that you count is kids coasters, which we can't ride anyway. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I agree. I think Cedar Point has done a better job as far as updating and keeping their coasters fresher. They've added Steel Vengeance this year. They've added Valraven 2 years ago.
And what do you call it? Conversion of Mantis?
Yeah, the conversion of Mantis.
Our point of view is that I think you get the same experience. I'm going to give them both a check mark here, a tie.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a tie. I think the Magic Mountain's lineup is a little more dated.
But they do have one or two more, depends on what you count it. So
they
us,
got one or two more, but they're older. They don't have anything that's really new.
They do have that advantage, but I have the same experience. I enjoy both parks, so I'm gonna give them both a check mark. That's 1-1.
So the next category that we're going to look at is resorts. This is kind of a give me. Cedar Point obviously has a resort built into it already.
Magic Mountain doesn't.
And Magic Mountain doesn't. There's hotels that are close by, but none that are associated with or owned by the Six Flags chain. For me, this one's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's a Cedar Point.
Yeah. Okay, 2-1 to Cedar Point so far for both of us. Let's look at their water parks. And both parks, for a flagship park, their water parks are small. And again, one has 14, one has 15. And I don't know what's the difference, but Magic Mountain is a very hot park, and you do appreciate the water park more than Cedar Point, which is the cooler park. But I would give this one a tie also. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I think so. I think Cedar Point kind of takes a small lead because they have the beach as well.
Yeah,
you're not confined to just their water park if you want to cool off. You can go out and swim in the lake without even having to go in the water park.
So you're gonna give it to Cedar Point?
Yeah, I'm gonna give this one to Cedar Point.
Okay, I'll give it to both. So Tom is 3-1 Cedar Point. I'm 3-2 with Cedar Point. let's look at the both parks flat rides. Thi- Go ahead. This is when you know there's an imbalance on one of the parks here.
Yeah, I mean, for years that's been the big complaint about Magic Mountain. There's just not
Yeah.
enough flat rides or kids rides.
Cedar Point has 72 total rides. That's roller coasters and flat rides. Subtract 18. What is that?
You're in
About
the,
54.
Yeah, and then I
And
think
Six Flags Magic Mountain has
is
46.
46 total,
And you subtract 19.
19
it's
of that
27.
is yeah.
So while Cedar Point, when they built all these coasters, they were adding flat rides with it. Six Flags Magic Mountain didn't, and now it's really showing. You got, when we went there, we saw coaster all over the place, but we rarely see flat rides, hardly any.
Yeah, and that kind of leads into the next
Yeah, this is
the next category, which is the kids section.
it shows this is an imbalanced park.
Yeah, it's very imbalanced.
Too many coasters and not enough well-rounded for the people that don't want to ride things but coasters, and it shows. So I think Magic Mountain is trying to fix that.
Yeah, they've added the new section, the boardwalk section, and
Yeah.
they've got that new
Crazanity.
the new giant.
I think they're gonna continue adding to that section, try to fix try to make the park more well-rounded for the whole family.
But I think they need to what they really need to revamp is their kids section more than just adding just flat rides.
It's spread over 3 sections of the park. Yeah,
It's kind of disjointed.
yeah.
And that brings us into the next category, which is the kids sections. Cedar Point
got great Camp Snoopy.
They've got Camp Snoopy, they got Planet Snoopy, and they have Kids Kingdom, or Kitty Kingdom at Cedar Point.
Yeah,
so they have 3 separate kids sections with rides geared for
in the 50s. The amount
from tiny tykes up to preteens.
The other thing I noticed when we went there in 2015, there was hardly any family with little ones. Most of the people that went there were teenagers.
Yeah, I think
like 13 and 14. They were older teenagers, and I didn't see any. I'm sure there was, but I didn't remember seeing.
No, there weren't
too
a lot
many
because
5-6-year-old with young parents.
Because Magic Mountain is known as a roller coaster park. It's not known for
Complete family. Yeah.
the complete family.
So yeah, I think this is another section they need to add. So
yeah, I give the kids section to Cedar Point
also. So last section gave flat rides, so it's 5-1 on Tom and 5-2 so far for Cedar Point. Yeah, we're gonna touch on this
just briefly.
briefly. Yeah, Cedar Point, their day cost is cheaper than Magic Mountain, but their seasons pass depends if you want the Platinum Pass or just the park seasons pass. It's $150 for just Cedar Point, and I think $223 for their Platinum Pass. Six Flags is around $80-$90, and you have access to all Six Flags they don't have. Plus, they have that value member, but it's not up to the $200 or $150. Yeah, the seasons pass overall is cheaper, so Cedar Point will get a check mark for day pass, and Six Flags will get a check mark for the seasons pass of Magic Mountain.
The next thing we're going to talk about is food at the parks.
The cost of the dining passes. Yeah. So for personal reference, please look it up. But overall, Six Flags Magic Mountain is slightly cheaper than Cedar Point. Because I think Cedar Point's $144 for the dining pass, and they might have one for like $99 just for Cedar Point, but not the Platinum Pass. In general, with Six Flags chain, they have the what do you call the membership?
Right.
It's like $5.99. What was it, $4.99 a month for the dining pass? So you're looking at about $70-$80 compared to $100, $144.
So the next category we're going to look at is animal attractions. This is kind of a no-brainer. Between the two parks, Cedar Point has a petting zoo. Magic Mountain does not.
But yeah, most of Cedar Point still have Cedar Fair Park still have a petting zoo. The only exception at Six Flags is Great Adventure, which has a full safari, and Six Flags Discovery, which has marina and a full zoo. So this one goes to Cedar Point. Yeah. Well, let's look at another category, the shows that both of these parks provided. Cedar Point does have great shows, inside by Millennium and Rougarou, and outside the park. What's make it unique? Sometimes they do it out at the beach. But Six Flags Magic Mountain depends. Every day that you go, you have different style of music that the bands they got. It is a land of sand, sun, and superstars. So the talent pool of LA is great. So they put on great shows. One day you have a Taylor Swift style music. Next day you'll have heavy metal. I mean, it's unique. They book some great artists, and I would give this one to Magic Mountain, even though I enjoy some of the beach concert that Cedar Point has.
I think it's more of a tie. I don't think Magic Mountain necessarily edges out over this. I think the productions that they put on at Cedar Point are just as awesome as they are at Magic Mountain.
Okay.
So I give it a tie.
A tie. I give it to Magic Mountain. Okay, this is the last category for both parks, the park's overall experience and appearance. And even though I enjoy both parks, we never stayed the whole day. We stayed a week at Six Flags Magic Mountain, and we stayed 4 or 5 hours and leave because, we were there in July of 2015, and it was very hot. Temperature got up to like 115, 116 degrees, so we ride a few things, enjoy the water park. But my perception is that when we go Cedar Point, even though you can get tired roller coaster, you go out the beach and hang out and water park, and they also have great restaurants, TGI, the seafood place. So this Cedar Point is a full family vacation experience. Magic Mountain is a roller coaster park experience. I would give it a Cedar Point as an upper hand. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I like the appearance of both parks, really, and the experiences were totally different, are totally different. Like you said, in California, it was blazing hot, and it was hard to enjoy the park for a long period of time. It's not someplace you can spend the whole day at. To whereas at Cedar Point, it gets hot there, especially on all that asphalt. But you have the option of the water park, and you have the option of the lake right next.
A certain section of Cedar Point is
right
also cool, like Frontier Town.
That's only one small section where you got shade. Otherwise, that park is just a blazing hot tarmac. So I guess I got to give this one to Cedar Point as well.
It's a complete vacation.
It is a complete
experience.
destination.
It's a vacation destination, not a roller coaster destination. So for full family experience, I give it to Cedar Point.
Okay, folks, so that's going to do it for our first Battle of the Parks, the flagship parks. I gave the scores Cedar Point 10 points and Magic Mountain 4 points.
I gave Cedar Point 9 and Magic Mountain 4.
The only thing that we kind of disagreed on was the food. I think it's pretty much a tie. I think both parks do well with having festivals and special food items and menu items that are on offer throughout the season.
Tom, look at the quality. I look at the overall price, and Six Flags is a little cheaper on their dining passes because of especially the new membership thing they're initiating.
Yeah, their dining passes are way cheaper.
It's going to be even cheaper this next year.
But overall, I think that that both parks are great destination parks. If you want to ride some really thrilling rides,
you're a coastal enthusiast. Both
of these parks are a have-to visit for coastal enthusiasts.
our opinions, in my opinion anyway, Cedar Point is a more complete park for the whole family.
Yeah, and they have a lot of things around that are close to Cedar Point for families to do as well, as far as the lake and other, lodging options and
campground,
dining options as
Was
well.
it a Harbor Light or some lighthouse?
It's like Good Samaritan or something like that.
No, the campground.
Oh, their campground is Lighthouse Point.
Plus, they have restaurants outside the park, but in the peninsula that some has seafood. Certain time of years, they have wine festival, and like August when we went there, they had the seafood boils and stuff out by the pavilion by the lake. So there's a lot to offer at Cedar Point.
So this is Tom.
This is T.
And we're Show Me Coasters, and we hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, comment, and share.
Yeah, see for yourself if what we say is true. So, but that's our experience for both parks. So your experience might be different.
Yeah. So, like we said, guys, enjoy the video, and we'll see you next time.
Good night. So this is the list of the Cedar Fair's ranking of our future park battles. So we just did Cedar Point versus Magic Mountain. So these lists are not set in stone,
Yeah, these are totally our opinion.
And your ranking might be different than ours. So
how we rank the parks.
So
join us next time when we'll
do the number 2 parks.
Of Kings Island and Six Flags Great Adventure
in Jackson, New Jersey.